Just talk about being back and what you're feeling and what you're seeing.
Best day of the year right here, coming back and seeing everybody in the team meeting last night is it's a lot of fun. Energy's through the roof, as you'd expect, so it's great being back and getting on the field. First practice is always a lot of energy, a lot of mistakes, so it gives us plenty to work on.
You've coached in the SEC and the Big Ten, but is it kind of invigorating to be preparing for almost a whole new slate of opponents this season?
Well, every season's exciting because you got new players, the new teams, the different challenges, the venues. I mean, it changes every year, but this year is changing, significantly with the number of teams that we'll be playing that we haven't played before, and same goes for them coming out here. So the road trips, it is exciting. I mean, I think everybody gets excited every year for the start of the season, and it's no different. But there's a lot of firsts.
Did it kind of hit home a little bit more being in Charlotte with all these new programs, new staffs, new players?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. It was great being out there. It was a fantastic event, and our guys did a fantastic job. It was really well run, and obviously they rotated just a handful of teams each day, so you didn't get to see everybody. But yeah, it's different logos, different location, different food. It was great. Loved it.
Have you identified a certain number of priorities for, objectives for the fall camp that obviously you want to get better everywhere, but are there some specific areas that you're really going to focus on?
Well, I mean, we could kind of talk through each position. We'd be here a while, but the key is there's a lot going on. Obviously, the things we just talked about, new schedule and new teams and new conference, but at the end of the day, we're playing the same game, and all we can do right now is just we got to be better tomorrow than we were today. That's it. I mean, it's that simple. If every individual and coach and support staff member and administrator, if we can be a little bit better tomorrow, then the cumulative effect is significant. So that's what we're focused on. And from a football standpoint, there's a lot. We feel really good about the guys coming back and a lot of the newcomers. A lot of speed on the team, probably more overall team speed than we've had. Now we got to utilize that, and we got to learn what to do and how to do it. There's just a number of different position groups and players individually that we have high expectations for, and we got to help them reach those.
Justin, you were talking to a Cal fan or a number of Cal fans, and they asked you, what are 3 reasons why we should have optimism for this season? What would those 3 reasons be?
Well, the returning players that we have coming back, a lot of returning production, some very good players. I think the overall team speed is improved significantly. I think the competition across the board, but especially at a handful of positions, is I'm excited. I couldn't tell you right now who the number 1 through 10 receivers are. I can't wait to watch those guys battle the DBs, the outside linebackers. Who's going to elevate at D-line? What's the O-line going to shake out like? How's that running back room going to sort, in the next month? Quarterbacks, obviously. There's just so much to be determined, but the competition at all those positions is real, and that's really exciting. We've had, in the last 3 years, we've had a lot of we've had some great wins. We've had a lot of close one-score losses, and it's our job, my job, first and foremost, to find ways to win those close games. And it's coaching and scheme, it's recruiting, it's development, it's competition, it's team speed, it's making a third down stop, it's administrative support and strength and conditioning. It's all those things. So that's what we're on a mission to do, and very confident we can get that done. It's not going to be easy.
We don't see Ethan Saunders out here. Can you address that, and if there's any other people who are not going to be with you?
Yeah, so Ethan is not going to be able to play football anymore. He has put in so much time and effort into this. He's been a great teammate, heck of a player for us. He's undergone some difficult injuries throughout his career, and he's not going to be able to continue anymore, which has really been tough for him. We support him 100%. It's an unfortunate part of this game, so he won't be able to play with us anymore. But he's done a heck of a job as a Bear.
Anybody else who's?
Not right now. No, everybody else we would expect to be back at some point this season.
And Liam Johnson, we saw him with a cast on his right foot or leg. What's his status?
Yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back quickly. I mean, they give timelines, you know, those doctors do when they have things come up. But Liam has proven in a short time to be a very well-conditioned guy who works extremely hard. So I would expect him back as fast as humanly possible.
Possibly for the first game.
We'll see. Yeah, that's possible.
A couple new quarterbacks in here
Yep.
with Harris and Kaminong, I should say. Looked like Harris threw some nice balls. Kaminong had some nice runs. So do you feel like coming into the season, maybe you're hopeful that you have a little bit extra depth at quarterback?
Yeah, I think the competition in the room. You talk about that room, like I was talking about the receivers and DB. There's more competition there. I think definitely. You can day one, it's hard to tell much, but really glad all those guys are here.
I'm not going to ask you to name your starting quarterback, but I will ask you, I think you're kind of a fashion guy, so what do you think of Fernando's hair?
What made you think that I had any sort of fashion sense? You're trying to get me to answer.
Because you're comparing myself to, I'm comparing you to myself.
You're trying to get me to answer the question, so you're building me up
Yeah.
like I had some expertise on the subject.
Exactly.
Yeah, which I don't. So Fernando's hair, you know, eye of the beholder, I suppose. And if he's feeling good about it, I'm feeling good about it. I think we had a number of guys come out with some new dues. So, yeah, I'm all for it.
Fair enough.
I guess they say it grows back.
Justin, the antitrust settlement came out last week. I realize that's not a done deal. There's a lot of I's, T's to be dotted and crossed before it happens. But one of the possible side effects of this with a 105 player limit is what it does to your walk-on program. What your concerns and thoughts are on that.
I have concerns that guys who had gotten opportunities in the past are going to get maybe fewer opportunities. It doesn't mean they're going to go away because there's, as you I'm sure read, it's a roster limitation. There's no such thing as a scholarship limitation. Now you potentially could have if it goes that way and all those T's get crossed and I's get dotted, then yeah, maybe it's 105 scholarships, maybe it's 100, maybe it's 95, and there's partials. There's still ways that guys could walk on. Are you going to have the number is going to shrink, right? Because that's what the roster limitation does. Because most teams, I think we're at, what do we got, 118, 119, something like that. So yeah, we wouldn't have those extra 13 guys on the team, and there's some guys who the opportunities would have to come elsewhere. So that's maybe an unintended consequence of some of these things is, guys that got opportunity, and we've had great success with walk-ons here. I think walk-ons in college sports and college football are critical. How's that all going to sort out? We'll see, but it certainly impacts those guys who have had more opportunities than they will moving forward.
And part of that settlement also is $23.1 million that the school is allowed to pay its athletes going forward each year. Is Cal going to be able to afford that? Have you heard early from your people above you where that stands, how that shakes down, what's going to happen?
I know that we'll be able to support football at the highest level in order to compete where we want to compete. And I'm not in the budget meetings. I understand there's a lot to be done, and I know that Jim Knowlton and our chancellor and all the administrative people are going to be working hard at that, but I don't want to speak on decisions that are made or what's on the table or how they're going to do that. I don't. That's really.
Well, you do have a commitment that they're going to take care of it.
Support football,
at your end.
yeah, at the highest level. Yes.
So you're comfortable with that? Feeling
Yes.
good?
Yes.
Have you met with Chancellor Lyons yet, and if so, any impressions?
Well, I've got a chance to meet him multiple times. Actually, when I first got here in 2017, I was able to have lunch with him. He was still at Haas, and really impressive person. I think we all know that, and he's got history here. And as he explained it to me, some of his first memories of Cal are being at Cal football games, and he's very, very busy, and he's got a lot on his plate I can appreciate. And he actually came in June and said hello to one of the group of recruits we had on campus, which was great. And we're going to get him out here to practice to say hi to the team. So he's a very busy guy. He's got a lot on his plate. We're very excited about our future with Chancellor Lyons, and everything he's been involved with seems to excel. So.
Seems like he has a real love for athletics, which has got to be good for programs at the university.
I would agree.
Do you have a timetable on when will you go pads for the first time?
Yep, we get shoulder pads, so there's limitations. So the first 2 days have to be in spiders, we call them, and then we'll put shoulder pads on Friday. Yeah. And then full pads would come that next rack of practices. Yep.
Looks like Bowlers and Buchanan are fitting in quickly. Can you share your impression of them so far?
Well, physically, I mean, they stand out, and they've both played a lot of college football. But it's one practice, on the field with them, and they did a heck of a job today. But I think it's more what they've done since they've been here: weight room, strength and conditioning, getting, diving into the playbook, and they're smart guys. Again, and they've played a lot. So, and you notice them, like when you walk by the D line or you walk by the linebackers, you notice their stature.
You've got a whole new group of punt returners back there. Yep. With Brady and Martin and Mikey and Keon.
Yep.
Looks like they give you some juice back there. Are you hoping for some real improvement in the punt return game this year?
Absolutely. We think we can make a huge jump in the return game overall. Obviously, special teams are an area. We had some really good moments on punt last year. We had the big kickoff return against UCLA, but we feel like we can be more explosive in the return game with adding some of these guys, and then obviously in the kicking game, kicking the ball out of the end zone, and then in the field goal and PAT field goals. We feel really strong about where we're going there. So just as a whole, and then you add the bodies that we've added to the roster who are big skill athletes who can help you on special teams. We just feel like special teams is an area where we can become even more and more explosive in the return game, and helping ourselves with field position in the kickoff and punt game.
With the people you've added, does that mean that you won't be tempted to use Jaden on kick return?
Oh, no. No, he is absolutely in the mix. Yeah.
He did it very sparingly last year.
He did.
Will you use the same approach on him, or put him back there on a regular basis, or do you have any idea yet?
Oh, we got plenty of ideas.
Plenty of ideas you're ready to share right now.
All done? Good?
Good. All right.
Thanks, Justin.
Thanks. Yeah. Good seeing everybody.